Good afternoon, I'm Raylene Ramsey. This is your afternoon news fix for Monday, the 10th of November. Hundreds of people's plans have gone up in smoke as Tongariro National Park's wildfire burns on, covering not far off 3,000 hectares. Fire and Emergencies Offensive has been aided today by rain and minimal wind. Evacuated residents have the all clear to return, but visitors aren't allowed. DOC Regional Director Damien Coots says roughly 600 people had booked on the Alpine Crossing over the next week.
We had close to 100 people booked in huts and campsites over the next couple of days that won't be able to come through on those bookings. And at this stage, we don't know when we'll be able to get those facilities open.
The Asthma and Respiratory Foundation NZ is advising people near the blaze to close all windows and doors and wear a mask outside. Te Pāti Māori's co-leaders won't share why their National Council decided to expel Takuta Ferris and Mariameno Kapakingi. The council met last night to decide on the MP's fate. The expulsion comes after weeks of public sparring between the pair and party president John Tamahere. Co-leader Rawiri Waititi isn't revealing more on the decision.
That information sits with the National Council. It has also been presented to the two MPs. That is how we're going to leave it. You're not going to get that detail here in this press conference.
The first pilot to land on Whakaari White Island after the fatal 2019 eruption, a civilian, is angry about some emergency decisions made on the day. In the sixth week of hearings, the coroner is listening to more first-hand accounts of the disaster. Mark Law led the unofficial air response and had flown to Whakaari and returned with victims by the time emergency responders arrived. He says he expected a lot more.
The biggest risk is doing nothing. And this day and age, we all know we're just immersed in risk assessment, hazard assessment, the whole 9 yards.
The Union for Public Sector Workers is vowing to stamp on any fresh attempts to sell state assets. The Prime Minister, Chris Luxon's calling for debate on sales before next year's election. The Treasury's warned Crown finances are unsustainable. But PSA National Secretary Fleur Fitzsimons says Chris Luxon attempting to dress up asset sales as capital recycling doesn't change the reality. We'd lose public ownership.
We will be fighting any attempts to privatise public assets, including during the election campaign, and we call on Chris Luxon to rule out any asset sales. New Zealand's been down this failed path before.
Ongoing efforts to ensure aggressive yellow-legged hornets don't spread in Auckland. 6 have been found on the North Shore. Biosecurity NZ says it's had more than 2,000 notifications from the public since October. North Commissioner Mike Ingalls says the focus is still on Glenfield and Birkdale.
We've laid over 142 traps. Every trap is getting checked daily. No hornets have been found in those traps to date, and we're continuing to have enhanced on-the-ground surveillance.
To sport, and former All Blacks midfielder Peter Alatini reckons Damian McKenzie's perfect in his role in the black jersey. McKenzie's injection into New Zealand's 25-17 triumph over Scotland proved crucial, scoring a try and nailing the match-sealing penalty. Experimentation over execution for the Silver Ferns during their 63-41 win over Scotland in Glasgow. And a trio of big men return in the Tall Black squad to play Australia in the first qualifying window for the 2027 Basketball World Cup. That is your latest news fix. We'll have another one for you tomorrow morning from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.